Hey everyone, welcome back to Hinterland. Happy Friday. So nice to be a Friday. Weekend just around the corner. Let's get caught up on what's going on. Well, currently there's nothing going on apparently, at least not in contracts. So I have basically started a new field. I did take a small loan out so that I could afford to buy this plot down here, number 5. We owned 3 and 4, and I wanted to make sure I could just do this whole field. So I just took out a loan and said, screw it, let's just finish it off. So as you can see here, I have already outlined our field. It's going to be a big field. I think 10 Man would be proud of me for this one. Well, if I got rid of all these trees, be a little more proud of me. But for now, this is where we're at, this field here. Now, I have created a custom, what do you call it, courseplay course, because all of this grass that's sitting here, we could probably use. Not all of it, but we need some grass. And I decided we're going to do, it seemed like it worked out pretty well last time where we had a bunch of grass bales, and we got that Anderson, a baler, sausage baler. I think we, that one right there. And made our big bale sausage that went flying away like a floating Gumby thing. Other than that, it went really well. So I think what we're going to do this time is basically the same thing. Is we're just going to make a bunch of grass bales. We'll store them in our shed way over yonder. And we can take them out and wrap them when we need them, let them ferment, and call it a day. We don't even need to use the Anderson. We can just use our regular wrapper, whichever way we want to go. So I brought over our square baler, and we are going to create a courseplay course for our John Deere and get him mowing, and we're going to follow behind that. We're going to follow behind him or her and make some bales, if that makes sense at all. First thing we want to do is make sure we have swath dropping on the front and back, which we do indeed. Let's go in and let's create a courseplay course. Now, I thought courseplay would see this outline, but I swear it did before on another field. Maybe it needs a thicker outline. I don't really know. Not a big deal either way. That's why I created this custom course. So no big deal. We don't even need all of that grass. Let's generate a very simple course. We don't need any headlands. We're just going to do up and down. Yeah. We're going to make life easy. 33 feet. I think that's right. We'll find out, won't we? I think that's right. It's had issues detecting the width of this mower in the past. Where are we starting? Way over here? Let's get our mower going. I need to discuss a couple of other issues with you all. Maybe get some opinions, thoughts, concerns, comments. All right, swath dropping. We want a first waypoint. Off you go. Okay. Well, you do that if you want then. Just want to make sure we're going to see a nice swath here. Looks like we are. Excellent. Excellent. We'll just hop out. Head into our cloths. Oh, before we do that, let's head back to the farm for a sec. So, I got rid of our other trailer. Kind of did an even exchange, more or less. And went with this Phanteks. I think we had a Flegel DPW, DP180, DPW180. Using the Universal Autoload mod, which I love. But I was getting some really bad frame rate drops. I think I told you about that an episode or two ago. And I would come over here, and I mean, it would drop down in the 50s. It was so bad. So I exchanged that out, and now this is just a standard in-game trailer that's using the, I think it's using the palette auto load specialization mod. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, it'll still do auto load for us, palette wise, and bales if we so desire. So I exchanged that out. The second thing I wanted to mention, Tin Man actually mentioned this in a comment, and I was thinking about this the other day, was we bought this cedar right here. A nice cedar. I got no problems with the cedar. But, if we look, where is it? In planters, I really like these John Deere planters, but we can deal with that later. This Estrella, if we look, it does everything. Everything. So we'd only need one machine to do all. And I think we are going to probably go with that and sell our Kverneland. Is it a Kverneland? Instead of having a cedar and a planter, we're going to do it. I think it's a little, I don't want to say cheaty. My guess is in real life, this thing honestly doesn't do everything. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it can, though. But I think that's what we're going to shoot for. So that gets you up to speed on everything, I think. Let's lower our pickup on fold. Let's check our bale size. We do want 240. It looks like our mower is going to town. So I hope you all are having a great week. I'll tell you what, it has been a busy week for me. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. Today was exhausting. Another new person at work. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but other than it just seems like it's become more and more difficult to find good help. Maybe it's me and my age. I think I'm starting to sound like that old guy that lives across the street that tells you to get off his lawn. But it just seems like every time I turn around, you got somebody who's, it's just either, doesn't show up, shows up late, has, other engagements that evidently are more important than a job. I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. But, come on. Companies are only going to put up with so much, right? Speaking of companies, Giants, when is the release of Farm Sim 23? It seems like we've been hearing about it and talking about it forever, and it still isn't out. Is it next week? It must be next week, right? It'll be interesting to see how sales are on that, but it'll also be interesting to see mods maybe and hopefully picking up again once that's out. I think they have been focusing on the mobile game, and because of that, I think we just haven't seen the kind of mod turnaround that we normally do. Mods usually slow down anyways, right? As the game gets older, we don't normally see as many mods as we do towards the beginning. What a reliance we have on mods, though, right? I mean, when you think about it, I really do wonder if this game didn't have mods at all. If you did not have access to mods, any mods, and you could only play base game, that's it, just base game, would you play it in the first place at all? Because I honestly think there are people out there that wouldn't even play it. would you play it in the first place? And if so, how much less would you play it? Or would it have zero impact on the amount of gameplay that you normally do with this game? Now, I'm thinking back to... Now, of course, DLC is still going to happen. So you'll still have the Platinum expansion, and you'll still have access to DLC. But no mods. Zero mods. And I've thought about that, and I'll tell you, I think it would definitely impact... It would definitely impact the amount of gameplay I would do. I would definitely still play the game, but I'm not sure that it would hold my attention quite as much for as long as it does with mods. And there are really specific features that I would really miss without mods. And of course, you all know GPS being one of them. I don't know. I would not want life without GPS. Course play is a big one. Auto drive, I really don't use a whole lot. I need to probably start using it more, but I just feel like I would use it more if I played more 4X maps and bigger. But I feel like with standard size maps, I really don't have this great need for auto drive. But course play I would definitely miss. So GPS mod, course play. I guess when I start thinking about it that way, well, and then you got to kind of consider, sure, maybe there's not a tractor or a planter or a cultivator that ranks way up there on your list for I just can't do without. But as a whole sum of things, I would definitely really, really miss the wider selection of implements and tractors that we get with mods. And in some cases, it's not really often, and this is because of my gameplay style, I like them, don't get me wrong, but I don't rely heavily on the mods that take a base game, let's say a base game tractor, and add more tires or add more color configurations, things like that. I do really like that, but it's not high up on my list. I could do without that. I could do without more selection of Michelins, or you know what I'm saying? They're a nicety, but they're not up there on my, oh my goodness, you know, I would hate life without them. The one thing I think I do like the most is I do appreciate when they take a John Deere or a Case or something, and they make a US version of it versus being only with a European version. Those I have a little more appreciation for, just because I live in the States, so I like to see the tractors designed for what I would normally see here. I really like the European brands, even the ones that we don't see ever really in the States. Last night I was watching a YouTube video on this get-together that they have in Germany. It was like I think it was like 18 people. It was a really, really cool video of Schluter tractor owners. And the Schluter tractor is no longer made, but it's always been a tractor that I've liked. It was like one of my favorite, if not almost my favorite tractor in Farming Simulator 13 when I first started playing Farm Sim on the Xbox. I really liked the Schluter that was in that game. I also really, really liked the Deutz tractors and stuff, but the Schluter was a special tractor for me, and I really liked it. And I've always liked Schluter tractors. I like the color. I like the red color with the kind of the creamy yellow gold rims. They look old school. I think they just look tough, and I think they're cool looking European tractors. And they had a bunch of Schluter tractor owners get together doing field work. A lot of them were restored and things like that. Various sizes, from the small, like 4-cylinder, up to the bigger ones. The sound these things made was amazing. And it was just really interesting to listen to some of the history with Schluter tractors. It's a shame they're no longer made. I think they were made... Boy, were they made into the 90s. I forget if it was early 90s or when they stopped being made. I don't know if they were bought out or what happened to them, but it's a shame they're no longer... I'd love to see a modern-day Schluter tractor. It'd be interesting. Then I saw... after that, I watched a guy who restored one. I think he was Irish. Scottish or Irish? I can't remember. He bought one, and that was just an absolute... It was a parts tractor. Basically, the person he bought it from had two of them and was basically taking parts off the one to keep the other one going. And he ended up buying the one that was the parts tractor. This thing was a disaster. Absolute disaster. And it took him several years to restore it. And I got to tell you, it is the coolest tractor. It's just, he did an amazing job. The sound, the throaty diesel sound this thing makes is one of the best tractor sounds I think I've ever heard. It is so good. And I was just fascinated with listening to him tell the story of how he restored this Schluter, how he had to make trips to Germany to find parts, and how he had no manuals, he had no insight. I mean, I don't even know how he did it. I honestly, it would just be overwhelming if I was to look at this thing. It would just be overwhelming. But oh, that's a nice little golly right there, isn't it? I may have to get the old smoothing tool out for that. There's some nice little ruts here. It's just amazing. And the thing just runs like a top. And it just sounds so epic. So epic. And the cab on the Schluter is hydraulically will lift up. So easier access to the engine. So if you're familiar with like cab over semis, how they tilt up, that's what the cab on a Schluter does, basically. And it's just so cool to see. The cabs are huge, too. They have like a back seat. Like there's a seat back here. And they're just huge cabs. And I think he said the reason why they had the seat back in the back like that was because they had models like our Valtra that we have where you can do a reverse drive. They had Schluters that were designed with reverse drive or bidirectional driving or whatever you want to call it. And the tractors that didn't come with that just got a back seat. And it's just... I got down a rabbit hole with Schluter tractors. It's just... I just think... I really like older... As much as I love the newer style tractors, I just... 1970s... and 80s tractors just fascinate me. And it was before all of this carbon emissions and green planet garbage, and these are just diesel engines that are breathing naturally, pumping out all kinds of beautiful black smoke, and they just sound amazing. I think this will definitely be plenty of bales for us. I might start considering just doing it this way and just creating grass bales, storing them in the barn until you need silage, take them out, wrap what you want to create silage with, and call it good. I don't know that it's necessarily any less time consuming because you're still taking the time to bale, and then you're still going to have to take the time to wrap. But it's less time consuming in this, in this moment. We're not going to come back and have to wrap all these. We're just going to come back, pick them up, throw them in the shed, or throw them in the barn, and take them out as needed. And you can take it a step further, and you can get like a silage bunk, or silage. What do they call those silage silo bunkers? You know what I'm talking about? The fermenting silos. That's what I was talking about. Made that come out a lot harder than it should have. No, steer that way, Brad. Remember, it's opposite. Yeah, Colossus looking good. This chrome baler's been good. I like this chrome baler. It does a nice job. It's got lower horsepower requirements. We're losing some paint on it looks like. That's alright. Still seems to make the same kind of bales as it did with a good paint job. Yeah, some shiny metals popping through there. And that's metal, right? I suppose more recent, that would be fiberglass or plastic or something. Probably weigh a lot less, too. Did I miss a row? Oh, no, I guess I didn't. So I think this will be a good field for us. We're going to get it prepped as quickly as possible so we can get something planting, something put in the ground here as quickly as possible. I think let's take a quick peek. Are we past cotton? Oh man. Oh no, we're not. Oh, I don't know if we'll have time to make another field of cotton. We've got a lot of cotton. That would be nice. Another field of cotton here. Holy cow. So if we wait till next month, we could do corn. This would make a good cornfield, wouldn't it? We didn't do corn, did we? Yeah, let's make this a nice cornfield. That'll be nice. I want to see a nice big cornfield here. I think that'll look pretty sweet. Is our mower done? Looks like our mower... Yep, our mower has wrapped up their business. So I had a really weird thing happen with Throwback Thursday video. And I'm hoping it doesn't happen with this video. I could not get YouTube to process my Throwback Thursday video. It would upload fine, and as soon as it was finished uploading, it would act like it was going to start. It does like they always do like a check. I think it checks for copyright content maybe or something. And it would do the check, and then it would just fail. And it would come up and say, "Oh, sorry, this video can't be processed." And it didn't even give me like a try again or anything. It just said, "Do you want to keep it or delete it? Because it ain't happening." And so the first time it happened, I didn't catch it until this morning, which today is Thursday. So I sent out that post to y'all so you knew what was going on without a Throwback Thursday video. I uploaded it right away again. It failed again. And I just said, okay, I'll try a different browser. I normally have been uploading and using Chrome for YouTube to do my uploads and stuff, because I figure, you know, Google, Chrome, YouTube, Google. But couldn't get it to work, so I went to Edge, and Edge got the job done. So I haven't tested again. I will probably test it again on Chrome. I saw someplace that it happens, you can get that error message if you use a VPN and Google thinks that you're uploading from a location that you're not actually at. I didn't have a VPN client running, so that certainly was not the issue there. So I got to do a little troubleshooting, maybe clear some browser cache and blah, blah, blah. But finally got it done, so I'm glad to see Throwback Thursday was finally uploaded and good to go. I'll always try to post and let you all know if I see there's going to be a problem with the video. Figure that's the least I could do, right? And Throwback Thursday, Old Family Farm, yeah, it's coming to an end. I think 1 or 2 more episodes and we're going to be moving on. And I'm excited about the next map as well. I hope you all enjoy what I have planned next, unless I change my mind. I don't tell you what it's going to be because there's a distinct possibility that I that I could change my mind like the day before or the day of. So I just I'm going to wait until we actually get into it. But if I don't change my mind, I think it'll be a fun map for sure, with some nice, fun, historical. Especially if you've played Farming Simulator for several years, I think you'll appreciate Throwback Thursday still. It's hard to follow up Old Family Farm, though. Old Family Farm is always going to have a soft spot in my heart, that's for sure. So we got a decent pile of bales going on here. I think this will definitely take care of us for a while longer. Our cows do go through some food, that's for sure. I'm really glad I got that Silo King TMR mixer. That's been just so handy to just be able to toss bales into it and let it go to town. We still might end up putting down one of those other fermenting, not another Silo King, but one of those other fermenting, I guess you would say barns, more or less they look like, kind of things. But we'll see how we expand on animals. But we got to keep the cash coming in. Speaking of cash, next month is clothing. And I think we're going to have a pretty good bank balance after we're done selling all of our clothes. So at least that's what I'm counting on or hoping for. All right, we have, probably should get out and move our John Deere. We can, yeah, I guess we can clear this course. I'm not going to need it saved. We'll get him out of the way. Excellent. Excellent. Who is that? Where's that from? Excellent. Excellent. Can't remember what that's from. Oh, it's like right there for me too. I can't remember. Shoot. I can't remember what that's from. It should be super obvious too. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. All right, let's dump these bales. I think we need to turn that off. Hit Y to eject. There you go. Got a little cling on there. Fold her up. Oh, okay, that's what that was. Because this thing was still folding. And I think that's going to do it for us for this episode. I'm going to get to collecting these bales up and get them stored. And we need to get to plowing the rest of this field. The sooner we get this field plowed, the sooner we can get some corn into the ground. So thanks again, everyone. I do appreciate you joining me. I really do. Hopefully I'll see you this weekend. Otherwise, you all have a safe and hopefully relaxing weekend. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'd sure appreciate that. And subscribe, of course, as always, if you'd like to. And take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.